Bill Gaylord here with the American Dream. I'm so excited today. I have a special guest, Josh Galindo, Galindo Group Real Estate. And we're going to talk about three different topics today. Number one, we're going to talk about how to improve a seller's house so that they can maximize when they go to sell it. Number two, we're going to talk about investors, a little bit about flipping and how people can get started in that. And then number three, we're going to talk about rental property and why it might be a good idea to really get some rental properties for security in the long run. So Josh, let's get started on the first one. Topic number one, let's talk about sellers. What can sellers do to really maximize the value of their home?
Well, Bill, thanks for having me. The main thing that Galindo Group Consulting offers is what we could do is we could take a property. We have a seller that has a tire distress or some type of property they've inherited or received that they don't really want, and they just want to get rid of it. They also don't have a lot of money to invest in the property so that the property can earn top dollar. So what they could do is they can hire Galindo Group Consulting. I could come into the property. I can improve the property using my own money. And in exchange, what I'll do is I'll secure my loan against the property in the form of a first or second deed of trust so that I'm protected and the seller knows that everything's up and up. And then I'll go in, I'll improve the property, I'll make it look beautiful, and then I'll put it on the market. And now we're advertising a property that is turnkey, stunning. So now the seller can actually achieve top dollar versus having to unload the property quickly.
So let me get this straight. You actually invest your own money into the property to improve it because you know that you can get more value out of it.
That's correct. And I think logically speaking, if the seller had the cash available to do it themselves, they would likely do it because it doesn't make any sense to have a property that isn't very desirable to anybody and good money for it. So if they had them, they would invest it themselves. So a service we've developed is that we will actually come to the table. We will use our own funds. We will coordinate the construction. We will put up the money. We will sell the house. We will do everything. It's a turnkey
operation.
Absolutely. And it literally it can generate between 60, 80, depending on the price point that you're in, tens of thousands of more dollars for the seller. I think it's a very, very valuable program.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're investing your own money, you definitely are going to do it the right way to make sure that you get your return back. So you're invested in this saying as much as the seller. So
Absolutely.
topic number two, let's talk about investors and flipping a little bit. And if someone had, let's say that an investor came to you and had $1 million, where would you get started and what would you tell them to do?
Well, here's the first thing that I see a lot of amateur or newbie real estate agents or people do with their investors is that they believe that whatever time, energy, and effort that they put out, they've got to be immediately rewarded for that. That's a very old school mentality. When you get into business and do business, you have to understand that you are paid on the result of the business that you are performing, not based on the work that you're putting into it. It's the result that you've created. That's what you get paid on. So I see a lot of the realtors go in, and when they go to sell a property, they want their 3% commission right up front. Why would an investor trust you if you're getting paid up front to sell them a home? You want to build the trust of the investor. That is the very first thing that you do. And the way that you do it is you look at the investor and you say, listen, we are going to partner on this. When we go to buy this home, I am going to credit back to you the buyer's agent commission. And then when we sell it, I am going to participate in the profits. Now you tell me an investor out there that doesn't look at you and say, holy cow, wait a second. So you're invested in the results of this investment too? I trust you.
So different than the mentality of most real estate agents. You actually become the investor yourself with the investor, which is so different in the marketplace. And then number three, you have been in this business for a long time. You've acquired a number of rental properties. It can give you peace of mind. Tell us a little bit about why you think it's important to build a real estate portfolio.
The reason I think rentals are so important for our industry specifically is our industry is so economic dependent. When there's great news in the economy, the real estate market's doing great. When there's bad news in the economy, the real estate market's not doing great. So when you've signed your life up for a career that has that level of volatility, you need something that can balance you out in between all of the lows. Obviously, you take advantage of the highs, but when the lows come, you need something that can keep you afloat. And for me, buying rental properties was the way that I did that. I believe that I wanted to know that for the rest of my life that I could provide security for my wife, my 4 children, and my personal livelihood and personal taste of living, I wanted to know that I could always have that no matter what economic climate I was experiencing at that time. And so what I've done is I've bought 25 rental properties. I'm a proponent of buying the property cash. A lot of people don't understand that, but here's the difference, is that if you have one house, has one toilet leak, you know that if you go fix that toilet leak, you will earn $20 that month. Let's say that you want to buy 5 properties, okay? You have a toilet leak on 5 properties, and they're all leveraged. If you take rent that comes in and deduct the cost to owning the property, let's say that you make $110 a month. Are you really motivated to go fix 5 toilets a month to make $110? No, you're better off buying one property. The other thing is that if the market goes bad, you don't care what they're worth because they're still cash flowing. If the market goes bad and you're leveraged to the moon, all of a sudden you're paying to own these properties. Big thing. Nobody wants to pay to own a property because before you know it, you hate the property.
Yeah.
Your ability to borrow.
So be responsible being an investor in the real estate market. Stay within your means, but build it over time, and then you'll enjoy as stress-free as possible. So Josh, thanks so much for joining us today. Full of information, just super great information. We appreciate it, and can't wait to talk to you again. This is Gaylord out. Bye, Josh.